All right, good morning. I'm Rachel Thompson. I'm here with Democratic candidate for Congress, Bob Marks. He's running for the 2nd Congressional District in Hawaii. And we're here today to talk about some issues that we're facing across the district. High unemployment rates, especially here in Hawaii and especially on the outer islands, where people are earning very low wages and barely making it paycheck to paycheck. What kind of plan do you have, or what kind of insight do you have about how can we fix this problem? You know.
First, I'd like to say that this problem occupies much of my thinking most of the day when I'm not seeing people. It seems to me that it's a fundamental problem on the structure of the economy. One is that we need to make sure that the American workforce and the local people are educated and education is available so that they are trained for a new economy and that they're productive citizens.
You know, because I know you're a small business owner here in Hilo, very successful small business owner for 32 years. You know, so you definitely understand the challenges that the economy has placed on small businesses here.
There is opportunity. My own business, my law practice, and I also own a small bookstore, and I've also been involved in the construction business early in my life. And many times those businesses, all of them, even though my law business is extremely successful now, have had periods of extreme struggle. I think you have to go forward sometimes without knowing for sure what's going to happen, but with faith and confidence in the future, that even though they're in the middle of some of the most difficult economic times that America has ever seen, it's also a time in which tremendous opportunity is available for people that have good insight and that have the persistence to continue to press forward in spite of doubt. To press forward in spite of doubt, and I think that's important.
Young, educated people that can't even find a job. They're willing, able, but there's just no jobs available. You know, how can we solve that problem, you know?
Well, it's easy to say this and difficult to do, but one is to be patient, the other is to stop trying to look for jobs and start trying to look for work. You know, people say, Bob, you must have always been successful. I've had like 40 jobs. Some of the most miserable conditions, awful, and each one of those jobs and experiences have helped me become a better employer and an employee for myself.
You know, for someone who is an educated, experienced, employee, how can they compete with people that are getting paid minimum wage as entry-level positions?
I think that's a real serious problem. I find employers unwilling probably to hire people at all who are in their 50s, for instance, even though they're very well trained, because they know that those people expect a lot of compensation. My philosophy is that you make a school available for any age person as cheaply as you possibly can. Public education for retraining at community colleges and colleges ought to be ideally free. I know it's not going to be free, but it should be a very low tuition.
And I think it's important for people to understand that it really should be about who is the most effective person, who's going to be the most qualified candidate, and who's going to be the one that's not going to have special interests in mind when it comes to, making our way to Washington. Bob is from the 2nd, for the 2nd, so let's make sure we get him elected on August 11th.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Rachel. I appreciate it. You take care.